You all live. Good morning. It's a beautiful morning. We have a beautiful life. Holodeck training module for our souls. Atmosphere. Earth. Whatever mouth sounds you want to put to it, man, is it beautiful. Oof, am I thankful to be here. Learning, sharpening that blade, having insanely hardcore challenges, left, right, front, center, behind. Check your six. You know, if you're moving flow state to flow state responsibly, on top of all your stuff all the time, up early, man, it was hard to pry my eyelids open this morning. It was like the garage door open and shut down. They were jammed, man, you know, and you just had to crank through. It was groggy. My first visit, obviously, so when you have your diet, nutritionaldiversity.com, when you have your super diet down to an absolute science, and you make one mistake, man, it totally, you see the effect, right, you know? So when I usually have this completely regular, smooth running green, you know, most healthiest stool ever, one piece of pizza, because your body's just like, what are you doing? Like, why would you, we're moving this fast. Like, if you're already moving slow, if you're already a total piece of crap, then the piece of pizza really doesn't matter. But when you're moving, you know, you could swallow a wrench at that point. But when you're really moving fast, you don't want to put the wrench in there, right? It will really trip you up because you just jammed all that momentum and inertia that you had cultivated, that speed and velocity that you had cultivated into this like juggernaut ability, you know, this juggernaut momentum, this juggernaut force that's moving through life. And everyone else is like, whoa, F that guy. Like, what made him such a samurai? How did he get so cool? You know, why wasn't it me? How was he dealt that hand? No, ladies and gentlemen, there is no hand dealt. There is no hand dealt, actually. Everything is as you make it. Everything is as you make it. If you do not believe that you cannot change the times with your mind, this magic wand, then you can't, because you limited yourself with your own stupid belief. Now, if I can make you believe that your best opportunities are horrible and that your worst break systems are gospel, godly, goddessly, I have you trapped. I have you trapped. I have this insanely powerful, capable being that can actually rebuild the world. And 8-9 years ago, you couldn't have told me this. But I have this insanely trapped with a negative energy trapping beam. And it's dynamic. It consists of manipulation, depression, oppression, misguidance, lack of discipline to get your own guidance, lack of, fear, this huge fear element to where you're afraid to get out on your own and spread your wings, which is what you need to do to magnetize, to charge up the magic wand that is you. So when people say manifesting, what if I said it's not? That's actually a very correct word, right? Because you're pulling from existing elements. I can't make this into a liquid by wanting it to be one. Right, I can't rebuild that. Or can I? or can I? I can definitely change the way in which the substance moves in my life. I can definitely change the way I use the substance in my life. But I have to concentrate. I have to discontinue certain conversations with certain people. I have to recognize, and like some of my, I'm gonna leave it right here. You know, I love brotherhood. I love the idea of brotherhood. You know, I love the idea of finding a way that we can actually be brothers. And I have. It's out here in nature. It's fair share. It's permaculture. It's exactly what Bill Mollison wrote. It's exactly what Rudolf Steiner wrote way before him. It's exactly what so many people have practiced. Far before that, these small tribal communities where they actually love each other and they're happy and they do positive things. They're cultivators, not control freaks. They're free. It's worth everything. It's worth everything. You know, at the end of the day, so many billionaires will pay to be not just in the shape that I'm in, but in the space that I'm in. But that's just a matter of reps to build the muscle, the skill, the intelligence, the dexterity, the whatever. It's a matter of repetition. And for some people, it's more reps than others. I'm actually like David Goggins has said before that he is like, boop. You know, I've got to read the page over and over and over and over to get it. I'm dyslexic. I didn't know. After all, you wouldn't believe the amount of child testing and all this crazy shit I went through. Anyway, and then but they never figured that out. I figured that out with another dyslexic person down here in Latin America. It's like, oh, you're dyslexic. I'm dyslexic. Oh, is that what it is? Yeah. And then I started reading into it. I was like, oh shit, that is what it is. What, Einstein was dyslexic? I think Steiner might have been dyslexic. Lots of geniuses. There's a list. We're dyslexic, right? There's many people that think the English language, from left to right, was carefully crafted to make us heartless and clinical. And we are. We think all our mouth sounds because we know the mouth sounds, we know what it is. But there's so much more than meets the eye. And can you see it? It would take a Jedi, no doubt. Not everybody's going to be able to see all this stuff. Right? But we could listen to somebody who can. Or can we? Look, no. We can meet this. Look, man. Look. All right. Look. Just start this up. Come on, my dog. Right up, Dog for Blue. Every single episode, right? Blue loves to be outside. Can't stand being inside. Can't wait to get outside. So yeah, I just I keep thinking that it's crazy. I played the other day, and then we'll wrap up this beautiful Sunday morning. I just wanted to come in and leave a star date log, pep talk, vote of appreciation for this life, right? Thank you, Lord. And I'll put a link below to the Mercy and Grace Albuquerque, my friend Kenny, Brad Breaking series. I'm gonna show up to that sermon today, I think. I go to I got friends that are pastors. I got friends that are superstores. I don't pay attention to some celebrity I don't even know, some Joel Osteen I don't even know. When I know my friend, I know more closely the authenticity of that situation, and to assume that I could gauge authenticity onto a screen through a radar that some of these liars aren't excellent and inauthentic. You know what I mean? To think that could possibly be true would be insane. And to think that I can't be fooled by a guy sitting right next to me. I mean, there's some good people that have spent all their talent points on being the best sales creatures, are they happy? Some of them really seem to be. They're also able to convince people of things all the time. You know, you gotta really watch your daily orientation. And that's why I'll leave this star date. So I'm joining and backing another guy. And 100 times now, it's just like, man, you are not passing the ego test, dude. You can't say things and then them not happen. You can't offer to do something and then it not happen. You can't. It's very obvious. See, my detector goes off, and I still support it, and I still take time away, and I really kind of think that might be a mistake. But we'll see. We'll see. Maybe this leads to something incredible and great. But the one thing is, man, is you've got to really, really, if you've got to be tough guy with your friends, if you've got to be tough with your friends, if you can't be completely authentic with people you've known long enough already, and there's a lot of people with that problem, man. You're just communicating the kindergarten level of what you're at in the Jedi game. That being said, kindergarten and Jedi is fucking none of these people in slave game know what the hell we're talking about. Kindergarten and Jedi, you know? Okay. Right? They couldn't hear a message like this. They're like, whatever, I know everything, you're stupid, there's no esoteric, nothing. Okay, you guys are weirdos. There's no hardcore psychology that can get me through life, you know? I just talk like an expert, act like an expert, and do some slave job. Okay, guys, so we are in the slave game, and there's been seriously evil child rapists and child abusers and people who want you to be one too at the top of it. So I'm just gonna humbly and hardcorely pray that today you can break out of that in any way, you know, and stop playing the slave game. And I know I'm not talking about a job. I'm talking about a dynamic, multifaceted thing to where you don't know who you are. And I say these things this beautiful morning, and we're so thankful for. In Jesus' name, I hope you guys have a very wonderful rest of your day. Hello, B.